Hi then guys, my name's AJ. I'm from Solar Motorsport. I'm just going to do a quick kind of look around my car and like an explanation of how far I've come with it and where it started, etc, etc. So it started off life as a completely standard Ford Focus Estate, 2001 model, 1.8 litre zetec, nothing special about it. I just thought I'd use it as a daily. Anyway, time went on, and I started modifying it. So I put wheels on it, suspension, exhaust, all this kind of stuff a car enthusiast does, and it kind of progressed from there. So then I started kind of getting into track, and the first time I ever saw a track was, I think it was Santa Pod. I got quite a respectable time of 16 seconds dead down there, which I thought was alright for a 1.8, considering what was like on track with it sort of thing. So yeah, after that I met Phil, or I saw him at Ford Fair. I saw his car and I thought, wow, it looks amazing. Phil's from Solar Motorsport as well. He's been a massive inspiration for me for this car as well. But yeah, I wanted to progress with it. So about three or 4 years down the line, me and Phil were speaking, and he thought it would be best if I was to do racing, to do the run what you brung thing in TimeAttack. So I ended up doing that, and I didn't do too bad, to be fair, but I noticed I was lacking in power. So we did the run what you brung the whole year of that, and then I decided I need more power.
Can I get a more power, baby? A more power, baby! Testify! A more power, baby!
So we ended up going down the route of Fiesta ST 180 engine, which Ben helped me out with a lot, to be fair. I couldn't have done it without him, so thanks for that. But yeah, we ended up going down that route and making it is what it is today, sort of thing. So I'm just going to go through a little spec sheet that I've got of the car as it is now. Okay, so this is the engine bay of the Ford Focus. Obviously it was a 1.8 litre, now it's a ST180. So it's just a completely standard engine, nothing done to it internally as of yet. I don't really plan on doing it because I know what they're like if you open them up, sort of thing. But the basics are, I've got myself a custom intake from here. That's an AirTech to the turbo pipe. Then I've made this myself. It's only a few pipes. It's mathless, but it's got a K&N filter. The intercooler, I think you can see down here. It's a bit of a struggle to get to, but it's a Pro Alloy one. It's for a Mark 1 Ford Focus RS, but as I say, it'll fit perfectly for the ST itself. I've got also in the engine bay. For the power steering wise, I've gone for a Mark 4 Astra power steering, and it leads into the Mark 1 Focus power steering rack. The reason why I've done that is because the ST180 was electric, and I didn't want to run electric power steering, because then I would have to run the ABS, and I've not run the ABS because I don't want it for track. It's all part of that. Basically I won't have a speedo, but I've kind of tied into that, and I just didn't want to run that setup just because it's a track car. I've got a standard ST180 gearbox with standard ST180 drive shafts. They bolted straight into the ST170 hubs, which made life a hell of a lot easier for when I'm putting the engine in. Also, for when putting the engine in, I've got completely standard ST170 engine mounts. So if you look here, that's standard for ST170, that's standard for ST170, and then just below where the torque mount is, you can't really see it down there, but that's standard ST170. The subframe's not changed whatsoever. Okay, so obviously it's got a standard turbo. I've got a Turbo Smart recirc on there just to keep the flow better for track. Exhaust wise, I've got a D-cap. I was going to keep with a standard cap, but the only reason I couldn't is because if you look down there, just where the exhaust is, it's a little bit tight for a cap, just down there. So I ditched that idea. I ended up getting a D-cap, and then for race regulations, obviously I have to use a cap, so I ended up going for a sports cap, 3-inch, and then 3-inch system all the way back, with a sensor exit. But I'll show you that when I show you the diffuser. Brakes wise, if you want to come over here, I've gone for the Mark 1 Ford Focus RS calipers, OEM discs, and DS2500 pads. Not the best pads in the world, but to be fair, I'm downgraded because I'm not racing anymore, and they've been fine for me like since I've started doing track days anyway. So that's the front brakes. Rear brakes, because this car originally came with drums, I've had to put discs on just to make cooling a little better. So the rear brakes are off an ST170, calipers off an ST170, and again I've just gone for the OEM disc with DS2500 pads. Again, that's fine, nothing wrong with that. Coilovers wise, I've got quite cheap and nasty eBay ones. They're called FKs, a lot of people have heard of them. But I've gone, instead of having the springs that came with the coilovers, which I think were shit, I've gone for like custom springs from Spring Coil, and I've set it up with Phil's knowledge of setting up a car to race, and I've done that, so that's really good. Tyres wise, at the minute I'm running Federal RSRs. Again, absolutely awesome tyres. I trust them with my life, since it's the only thing that hits the floor. Going back to the engine bay, for the coolant, I've gone for a Dorenza Rad. Again, I've had that 3 years. It's for a Mark 1 Focus RS, but again it fits the system, and to cool it down even further when I'm sitting idling, I've gone for these two little 7-inch eBay fans, but again they do the job perfectly. With all these new and improved changes I've made to modernise this car, the bodywork needed that change too, as it enters its next chapter in its track journey. I want to say a massive thanks to everyone involved in the build so far, including the Solar Motorsport team, Phil, Ben, Nathan and Gareth, and Tom and Laura for all the long late nights to make this thing happen.